Hello and welcome to Math 8, Unit 3A, Lesson 3. Today's objective is scholars will solve two-step equations. We've done one step, now we are doing two steps. So, first of all, what is a two-step equation? It is an equation with two operations. Operations being addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. For example, 4y minus 2 equals negative 6. Or x plus 3 divided by 7 equals negative 2. So how can I solve a two-step equation? So we're going to follow the exact same method. First thing we're asking is what is happening to the variable. So order is important. So think about if I know what y was, if I knew y was 3 or whatever, what would I do first? So I would multiply by 4, then I would subtract 2. So, for the inverse, we're going to go backwards. We'll start with getting rid of subtract 2, then we'll get rid of times 4. So, we're using the same properties as we use on the one-step equations. The addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division properties of equality. So, let's look here. Again, same problem we just looked at. 4y minus 2 equals negative 6. So, what's happening? First thing that's happening is that we are multiplying by 4. Then we are subtracting 2. The inverse of subtracting 2 is adding 2. The inverse of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. So we're going to do this in that order. So the first thing we're doing, we're use our addition property of equality. We're going to add 2. So I have 4y minus 2 plus 2 equals negative 6 plus 2. So then I'm going to combine my like terms. Over here, negative 2, positive 2 is going to cancel. I'm left with 4y equals negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. Remember your integer rules. So the next thing now I have to do, so I did the plus 2. Next, I've got to divide by 4. So I'm going to use my division property of equality, and I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So I have 4y divided by 4 equals negative 4 divided by 4. So here, these cancel, and I get y equals negative 4 divided by 4, simply negative 1. So that is my simplification, and I'm done with that one. Y is negative 1. I can check my answer by putting it back into my original equation. 4 times negative 1 instead of y minus 2 equals negative 6. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 minus 2 equals negative 6. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. So I get negative 6 equals negative 6, which is true. Okay, let's try another one. So here, what is happening? If I knew what x was, if I knew the value of x, the first thing I would be doing is adding 3. Then I would be dividing by 7. So again, we start from the back. Dividing by 7, the opposite of that is multiplying by 7. The opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. So the first thing we do is my multiplication property of equality. I'm multiplying by 7. So I have x plus 3 divided by 7 times 7 equals negative 2 times 7. Oh, and I forgot to put that in different colors, so let's just do this real quick. Times 7 times 7. Okay. So I'm going to simplify this. Divided by 7 times 7 goes away. I'm left with x plus 3 equals negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. So the next thing I'm going to do, I've done the multiply by 7, is I need to subtract 3. So I'm going to use my subtraction property of equality. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So I have x plus 3 minus 3 equals negative 14 minus 3. So I'm going to combine my like terms. Here, plus 3 minus 3 is going to go away. I'm left with x. Negative 14 minus 3 gives me negative 17. Make sure you remember your integer rules. And that's it. I've got my value for x. Okay, next problem. Again, what's happening? In this case, I want you to pause your video, and I want you to write down what's happening and see if you can do this without me. Okay, so hopefully you tried. So first thing, what's happening? If I knew what A was, then I know the first thing I would have to do is divide by 4 and then add 2. So again, we're going to start from the back. The opposite of adding 2 is subtracting 2. The opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying times 4. So I'm going to start with my subtraction property of equality. I'm going to subtract 2. So I have 6 minus 2 equals A over 4 plus 2 minus 2. I'm going to combine my like terms. Here, those are going to cancel. 6 minus 2 is 4 equals A divided by 4. My next step is to multiply by 4. So multiplication property of equality, and I'm multiplying by 4. So I have 4 times 4 equals A over 4 times 4. Now I'm going to simplify this. 4 times 4 gives me 16 equals, those cancel, I get A. So 16 is A. Okay, last problem. Again, I want you to pause the video and see if you can do this on your own. What's happening? Well, first I am multiplying by 9. Then I am subtracting 7. So the opposite is going to be adding 7, then dividing by 9. So the first thing we do is by addition property of equality to add 7. So I have 9x minus 7 plus 7 equals negative 7 plus 7. So I'm going to combine my like terms. Negative 7 plus 7 equals 0. Negative 7 plus 7 equals 0. So I'm left with 9x equals 0. Next step is going to be dividing by 9. So I'm going to use my division property of equality to divide by 9. So I have 9x divided by 9 equals 0 divided by 9. When I combine like terms, 9x divided by 9 gives me x. 0 divided by 9 gives me 0. And that's my answer. X is 0. Okay, so go ahead and try your problems on your own, and I will see you in class.